largest user segment to the website is 25 to 34 years old. Visits to the site by women are up 41% year over year. Part of what has enabled this is changing technology. Boats are a lot more sophisticated than they were decades ago, and as a result have become a lot easier to own.
Boating has gotten easier. It's joystick controlled. It's same thing you get in cars, automatic docking. Everything's connected to your phone, so you know the health of your boat. When you replace the battery, the gas level, you can start it up from somewhere else. And just technology's gotten so much better. This attracted younger generations into an industry that used to be thought as more of a stodgy, retired kind of industry.
There have also been some trends that have fueled interest in boating. One segment of boats that seems to be doing especially well is towboats. Boats intended to be used specifically for water skiing, wakeboarding, wake surfing, and similar sports.
Back in the day where you water ski, you had to control the ballast and have people switch to one side of the boat. You're kind of lean over. Those days are gone. You push a button now, and it changes everything to what the choices of the user in a heartbeat.
Pontoon boats, large, hardy, and relatively simple, are especially liked by first-time buyers. Paths to boating have also smoothed. There are boat subscription services, such as Freedom Boat Club, the oldest and largest such service, which was acquired by manufacturer Brunswick in May of 2019. Customers sign up online, pay an initial down payment which averages about $5,000, and monthly dues that average $300 to $400. This gives them access to a fleet of boats at a local club.
Really as easy as you drive your friends or your family to the marina, you park your car, the boat is waiting for you, gassed, cleaned, ready. You get on the boat, you enjoy your day, you bring the boat back, you throw the keys to the harbor, to the dock assistant, and you get in your car and you go home.
The company is seeing record growth, adding 40 new locations in 2020 and nearly 10,000 new members, a 36% increase in memberships year over year.
When we bought it, it had 170 locations, under 20,000 members, and there were a couple thousand boats in the fleet. 2 years later, there is now over 310 locations, including international locations in Spain and in England, and 40 plus thousand members. The growth here is certainly outpacing the overall normal boating market.
There's also a company called Boatsetter, a boater-to-boater rental and charter marketplace, on track to more than double business in 2021.
Plans to open a new factory in Sweden with the capacity to build over 400 boats a year. Another Swedish startup, Condella, has developed a hydrofoil electric boat.
Instead of using this energy to make waves and to push through the water, we actually disconnect from the water and only have a very small surface that is submerged. We use only 20% of the energy that a similar boat will use to do the same speed.
Because of this, the company uses a small 45 kilowatt-hour battery pack from a BMW i3 electric car.
We try to make the boat as efficient as possible, as light as possible, and then use a small battery to do 50 nautical mile a day, a boat that will be pushing water and creating wave. To do 22 knots for 2.5 hours, you would need a battery that is probably 5 times bigger.
The company has been shipping its C7 boat and is getting ready to start deliveries of its new C8 this summer.
The first boat was delivered in 2018, and we sold 30 of them worldwide. So we have 8 of the C7s in the United States, and we have almost 100 C8 pre-ordered, including probably 25% of them coming to the US.
It's expensive though, costing around $395,000 for the C8. One company has developed electric offerings that compete closely with its gas counterparts. Andy Rebele, a former software engineer who sold his internet startup during the dot-com boom, was inspired by the Tesla Roadster back in 2008.
I thought, wow, if battery propulsion can do that for a car, it must be able to make a boat. And nobody was doing that. The only boats I could find that were electric were slow.
Pure Watercraft, founded in 2011, has developed an electric outboard motor that can power skiffs, fishing boats, and other small vessels for between $16,500 to $25,000.
We built an electric outboard motor that replaces up to a 40 or 50 horsepower gas outboard.
And you have batteries that you can daisy chain together with our cables.
There weren't great high voltage battery packs available for us to purchase when we started the company, so we developed our own battery pack. We developed everything from the motor to the motor controller to the propeller even, which got us a much better efficiency than what we could get off the shelf.
At CES this year, Pure announced a partnership with General Motors to create an electric pontoon boat, combining GM's Ultium battery with Pure's outboard motor.
Our battery packs are designed to essentially fit like a slab, like a skateboard, under the main structure of the vehicle. This really well translates into the architecture of a pontoon.
The GM project is really about taking their battery and taking a lot of their components, pairing it with our motors, and then putting it into a pontoon boat that we can sell.
There are many problems in the modern housing market, but the biggest one for Americans tends to be the price.
Prices rose 40% from the start of the pandemic.
In the final quarter of 2022, the typical U.S. home sold for a record-shattering $468,000. That's unaffordable for most Americans, leaving them to rent.
The housing costs are completely out of line with wages.
Some members of Congress believe Wall Street is a part of the problem.
What's outrageous is your tax dollars are helping Wall Street buy up single-family homes. You're subsidizing Wall Street.
Massive private equity firms like Blackstone and Pradium Partners have backed a relatively new breed of homeowner, the corporation. This growing industry buys or builds single-family homes and then rents them out.
We hear from community organizers that are door knocking in certain neighborhoods and are just surprised by how many of the homes on a particular block will be owned by a corporate landlord.
Industry advocates say corporate landlords play a critical role in addressing the nationwide housing crisis.
Hi friends, it's Tisha Powell. Go ahead folks and hit that free like and that free subscribe button. It helps a lot. And check out the tag products by Neiman Marcus. It looks so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Welcome back to our show. And today we talked, today's segment was on CNBC. And they showed 3 segments. They talked about boats, and I'm going to tell you 3 ways to own a boat. And they also talk about what Wall Street was up to. We are obsessed here with Wall Street, so we always like to talk about what Wall Street was up to, and they're buying up the homes in the United States, and so should you. So tune into our shows. We'll show you how to buy real estate. Do not buy a boat until you already own a home, because a boat is a depreciating asset. And even though you see a lot of people today are buying up boats, they are considered second home. Now, why are so many people buying up boats today, you're asking? Because there is an IRS tax out now, and 2 things happen. Boats are now 20-year mortgages, so now they're more affordable. And IRS is allowing boats to be deducted. Yes, read the IRS tax code for yourself. Read it, or just go ahead and do a Premier subscription. We're going to have more in tax code. But IRS is allowing, if the boat has a bed and a bathroom and a kitchen, it's second and you can deduct it. So you need to find a lender who can finance the boat for you. And what people are doing is going into dockage, dry dockage. Dry dockage on a 40-foot boat is like $700 a month. Or you could be in a marina. Florida has a lot of beautiful marinas. People are in Florida because the marinas there are good. You could be in a marina in Florida for as cheap as what, $300-400 a month, you know, especially down in the Miami area. The marinas are cheap there. And some people don't move the boat. They just keep it at the marina and then use the facilities at the hotel. So that's something good as well about having a boat. Okay. So here are 3 things to do before you consider buying yourself a boat. Number 1, pay down your mortgage. Number 2, have a home already. And number 3, understand that boat is just a desire. It depreciates. So CNBC also talk about the fact that they're going to have boats that have electric engineer. And CNBC also talked about the fact that boats are booming after 2020, and that boats, I love educating people on boats. Boats are sold from one person to the next. All right, how do you own a home in the United States? Look into owning a townhome. A townhome is $260,000. That's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom right there. 1,200 square feet, the smallest one. Zillow is offering the 1%. Go ahead and get a Zillow loan. Get Zillow at the 1%. You'll gotta save too if you're a U.S. citizen or a resident alien living in the United States. What if you are a foreigner, then you need 30% of the purchase price. So we have homes in the United States at 265. So you would need 26,000 at 3 times. So you'd need about 78,000 US dollars to buy a home in the United States, which is not so bad. And then you can finance the rest. Get a loan in the United States. There are 4,800 lenders. They do work with foreign nationals. So 30% for foreign nationals, 3% for US residents or green card holders. And don't forget, a home is a good investment. The hardest part of the home, obviously, is coming up with the down payment. So if you go with the Zillow 1%, that's $2,650. And then you need to come up with the next 2,650 times 2. It's about $5,200. How do you come up with the $5,200? Probably get rid of your car payment, sell your car, take the bus, take the train. That's how I got my first home. I got rid of my car and took the train. So at that point, you are saving $500 per month. After saving that for 10 months, that is 5,000 US dollars. Do you see how you can save real fast for a home in the United States? You just need to find $500 a month for 10 months. What about your closing costs? That's a good question. If the property is worth more than it is appraising for, you can finance your closing costs. That's a savings of 6%. If not, you need to come up with the 6% plus the 3% for the down payment. But since Zillow is giving 1%, you only need to come up with 8%. So that's how we like to calculate banks and mortgages and everything. We like to calculate the percentage. I'm Tisha Powell, folks. Go ahead and hit that free like and that free subscribe button. That way you'll get the latest breaking business news from the United States. So we just calculated for you how to finance a home and how to finance a boat. You've also listened to CNBC on what Wall Street is buying, which is real estate, and that the boating business is a boomer. Go ahead, folks, and check out those tag products today, courtesy of Neiman Marcus. I'm Tisha Powell. You have seen my face on Fox News and Newsmax, and these days I'm right here. So go ahead, friends, and hit the free like and free subscribe button. Yes, you've seen me on Fox News and Newsmax. And yes, we did go viral on Twitter 2 years ago.